It's time to talk about the 2015 Best Animated Films, Oscar winners, nominees, and so forth. And the nominees were Inside Out, Anomalisa, Boy in the World, Shaun the Sheep Movie, and When Marnie Was There. And the winner was Inside Out. Now, in this case, I'm not really going to agree with this because the film that I actually would have thought maybe should have gotten at least a nomination, and I particularly have a soft spot for, was the Peanuts movie. I actually thought this was pretty good, and it did come out this year, and it's nowhere. But Inside Out was a pretty good concept. Doesn't necessarily hold water plot-wise. It's really more about feelings than it is about story, and I think that maybe that's the point, is that the feelings do matter. And and when we start talking about Inside Out, we start talking about whether or not the feelings actually control Riley or does Riley control them, and it's never really, it's not really brought up as a, I don't know. I guess we'll, okay, now for this next film, Anomalisa, I believe I'm pronouncing that correctly. This one I saw, and you should, and it is worth the Oscar nomination. It might have gotten the Best Picture nomination, I think, maybe. I could be wrong about that. I seem to remember that it did, but my memory could be off. But essentially, this is a stop-motion film that's R-rated, it's for adults, and it even has a sex scene in it that's quite awkward, but it's there, and I was actually surprised that somebody really took the time to make something like this. And if you're familiar with stop-motion, it's a hard business to be in, isn't it? And someone actually made a film that's really about somebody's mental health, and it's done in a way that I actually think is very interesting. And I don't want to reveal too much about this film. This is one of those films that you probably should go into it not knowing about it, because this is one of those films where you're kind of discovering what is happening in this film. And I'm going to recommend it. Okay, the Shaun the Sheep movie, I did see. I don't think it has any single line of dialogue. Most of the characters talk with gibberish and mumbling. Let's see. I think it has its, like I said, I've talked about before with Aardman, how they often do their films with a few really good jokes in them. And Shaun the Sheep has that, and there's just, it's nothing super deep, but does it really have to be? I mean, it's Shaun the Sheep, for crying out loud. It's got one of the best theme songs in the world. Anyway, so When Marnie Was There, I remember seeing this film. I remember really liking this film. And I do support its nomination. So, yeah, I'm just going to say great. As far as Boy in the World, I do not remember ever hearing of this film, but it got nominated, and I unfortunately haven't seen it. Sounds pretty good, I guess. Anyway, what didn't get nominated, and I'm not too surprised, was the Minions movie, which, well, hey, I mean, they're kind of designed to be a hit, and it was. I mean, I actually heard that movie made quite a bit more money than it was expected to, but yeah. So, and also, remember the movie Home, the DreamWorks film with the Sheldon Cooper and the alien and the Rihanna little girl? Yeah, didn't get nominated, but yeah. So, also the film Strange Magic. Boy, I think that was like George Lucas apparently had some input on this thing, which I'm really surprised. This film didn't really do so well either. So yeah. And of course, there's also The Good Dinosaur, which this is considered Pixar's biggest bomb, and unfortunately, yeah, I mean, there are films that I think there are Pixar films that are worse than it, but I've only watched it I think I watched it again when I was doing a Pixar review a while ago, and I didn't really think it was all that great. And okay, Hotel Transylvania 2 was also not nominated. I think that was it. I'm not certain why the Academy just does not want these Hotel Transylvania films, but that's that. So anyway, that's it for 2015. So next time we'll talk about 2014 film, Best Animated Film, Oscars, and winners.